As you can see, today we are in a little bit of a different setup. I wanted to sit down and do a different kind of video. This one isn't really focused around books. The majority of this video, I want to talk about ways that I am improving my winter and how I am focusing on my mental health and making my life better for myself this winter. I struggle sometimes with seasonal depression, and I put together a list of things that I think are super accessible and easy to implement. I'm going to be doing some skincare, drinking my coffee, and talking to you guys. It's gonna be super relaxed. So if you would like to join me in doing your skincare and getting ready, doing your hair, whatever it is that you need to do today, whether it's morning, night, afternoon, whatever time, I hope that you can take a couple minutes with me, sit back, relax, and we can talk about ways that we are improving our mental health this winter. I'm starting off with this ice roller. My face, as you can see, gets super swollen and dry in the winter. This helps me just kind of depuff, and it also gives like a really good base for my skincare. So I'm going to jump right into the first point I want to make today for ways I'm honoring myself this winter while we do this. So I have them all written down on my phone, so I'm going to read from here. Oh my god, that is like frozen. I'm sorry, that noise is not okay. Number 1, I have written down exercising my creative brain by writing for fun. So if this is your first time here to my channel, I do write. I'm trying to write a book. It's not really going super well. Actually, I'm gonna change my mindset. It is going well because I am writing a book. I'm working on it. It's just at a slower pace is all. So a lot of these are coming from a book I'm currently reading that is called Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal. In this book, he talks about how there are, I think, 8 different characteristics that humans tend to fall into, and one of them was the creative. And I definitely think that I resonate with that, being that I'm someone who creates content. I like to write, I like to read, I work at a bookstore. In that book, he talks about ways that you should try to implement this into your daily life and into your routines every day to try to make life more about play. So I've been thinking about that a lot, and I was thinking that I should really try to exercise my creative brain more, and not in a way where I'm like, I have to write, I have to finish this book, it has to be done by a certain time, I want it to sell, but rather in a way where I'm just writing for fun and writing to create a story. And so that is number 1. I am just trying to write more for myself and because I love writing. So how I'm doing that, I'm going to start keeping a writing journal where I can just jot down any fun ideas I have. I don't want to put a ton of pressure on myself to write in a certain way. I just want to write whatever comes to my brain. And I would like to go back to just enjoying it because I enjoy writing. So yeah, step number 1, I'm trying to implement stuff that I resonate with. For me, that's creativity. So I'm trying to write more often this winter. Okay, number 2 is going to be one that I think everybody should do. Everybody should really listen to this one, and this is to invest in your self-care, especially during the winter. In the colder months, I think for a lot of people, we tend to neglect ourselves a little bit more and rot. I definitely tend to just rot in the winter. I kind of lose like inspiration for like keeping my skin nice and like doing stuff to take care of myself. So this winter we are starting to invest in self-care. We are doing that right this moment by sitting here talking about these things. That's an investment in our self-care. I have also been making some monetary investments in my self-care that I'll talk about. So first and foremost, I have been getting monthly massages. I signed up for a membership a couple months ago. I believe I signed up in the summer, and I have been going every single month since then, and for me this is a non-negotiable. Absolutely a non-negotiable. I absolutely adore getting these massages, and if you didn't know, I do have Crohn's disease, which is like an autoimmune disorder, and it tends to affect my joints, especially my back, my shoulders, my neck, and my hips. So getting a massage is super important for me, and even if it's not like a medical condition that is important for you, if it's just important for your like mental health, if it's helping your mental health and you have the funds to do so, invest in yourself. I'm telling you, just do it. It feels so good to invest in yourself. I also went and got a facial the other day because I had a gift card for the place. I got one for Christmas, so I was like, you know what? Let's try a facial out. I really liked it. It was super relaxing. I'm going again in 2 months. And that is my investment in myself. I'm super proud of myself for putting this money aside to like invest in my self-care and taking care of my body. That can look a million different ways for a million different people. That could be doing yoga every day. That could be picking up the phone, calling your best friend every day. Going for a walk every day, getting out of bed in the morning. It could be anything. Getting yourself a glass of water. Wherever you are in your journey, start small and put yourself first. Okay, number 3, I have written down dropping judgment of myself and where I am in life. This one is something that I have been working on probably my whole life, but specifically for the past year. So I was sick for about 1.5 years, 2 years without any medicine for my Crohn's disease, and that completely uprooted my whole entire life. I wasn't really able to work, and I kind of just stayed home and did nothing for 1.5 years. And I was on social media a lot during that time, and it was not good for me. I was constantly comparing myself even to my friends, where my friends were in life, what steps they were at in their careers, and here I was just sitting at home with no job and a college degree and debt lining up, and I was doing nothing, and it made me feel awful. I felt awful about myself, and to be honest, it didn't go away for the entire time. And now that I'm kind of out of that stage of my life, I'm able to realize what was making that worse and why I was getting into that mindset, which it's super easy to get into that mindset. But I'll be honest with you, I think social media is the biggest factor. I really, really do. We see the highlights of everybody's life on social media. We are just seeing the highlights. Very rarely do we see anything but that. And we're human beings. We just so easily compare ourselves to other people, and we're so quick to judge ourselves against others, which is just not good because everybody is so different. Everybody's goals are different. You wouldn't compare your friends to each other, so why are you comparing yourself? We do it though. Steps that I have taken to minimize this: I have turned off all social media notifications on my phone, and when I tell you that this has been an absolute life changer for me, I have shut off all my TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat notifications. I'm not getting these notifications popping up on my phone reminding me who's active, who's viewing what I post. I'm not getting any of that. So the mental triggers that get me to think about other people's lives through social media are lessened, like extremely lessened, by shutting off those notifications. So that has been huge for me. My screen time has been down, and honestly, I haven't been wanting to go on social media as much because the notifications are off. Oddly enough, I just don't like gravitate towards it as much because I'm not thinking about it. So that is like the biggest thing for me for dropping judgment of myself when comparing myself to others. All right, number 5, we have, if it's not a hell yeah, it's probably not worth it. This also comes from that book I was talking about earlier, Feel Good Positivity. By the way, I'm using La Roche-Posay Toleriane Double Repair Face Moisturizer with 30 SPF. Okay, so I read in that book the sentence, if it is not a hell yeah, it's probably not worth it. The sentence is something along that line. I'll get the actual quote for you. When I tell you that changed my life, I feel like I am constantly trying to find a balance between saying yes and saying no, and prioritizing what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And I have such a hard time doing that. Such a hard time. I don't know how to say no. I just truly don't know how to say no, and I find myself overexerting myself. And at first that was super fun because, like I said, I was sick for a year. So going out and making all of these plans and doing all of these fun things was super exciting for a while. Now that I am back in a regular routine, a regular like healthy lifestyle and social lifestyle, it is time to limit what I want to do, because I don't want to do a lot. I'm very much an extroverted introvert. I would love to be by myself. I would love to be with like a close friend or a very small amount of close friends, my boyfriend, rather than like at a bar, at a party. That stuff just absolutely drains me. So this year I am focusing on trying to notice what is a hell yeah in my life and taking out everything, almost everything that is not. So find the hell yeahs and stick with them. Alright, the last one I have to talk about is going to be taking small steps rather than no steps. This one is very simple. You probably don't need me to elaborate, however, I am going to. So, also in the book I read, this book has been very life-changing. If you're looking for like a non-fiction book to kind of get you motivated, that one is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, and we're reading it for my book club, so not too late to sign up if you're interested. In that book, he talks about making small steps instead of 0 steps, because sometimes projects feel so huge that we end up just sitting there and doing nothing. Doing nothing because it feels so huge and so daunting, and we're terrified. And I gotta be honest, that's how I feel about my book. When I sit down and I think about writing, I am terrified if I'm not thinking about it for fun and I'm thinking about it as like a project. It's so scary. So he gave the example, if you are trying to write a book, step 1 is to have your laptop on the desk. That is it. That is the only step that you need to start with. And that has been huge. I write on my iPad, which is not like ideal, but I do. I have like a Bluetooth keyboard that I use here, and I set it up like this. So I've been keeping my iPad next to my desk, and in the mornings, like right now after I'm done getting ready, I'm going to put the iPad in the center and opened up, and I open up the platform that I use to write. So it's already there. If I don't write, oh well, but my brain's already on it. So even if I'm not writing anything, I'm kind of thinking about it, and I'm like brainstorming ideas, and it's getting me somewhere. Alright, and those are the 5 ways I am honoring myself this winter, putting my mental health first and focusing on me, making myself a priority, making this a good winter, because I've had some really bad winters before and I'd like to improve that. If you resonated with any of these, let me know which ones that you are going to try out. Let me know which ones you liked. If you have anything to add to them, please let me know in the comments, because I just love chatting with you guys. I absolutely love chatting with you guys. It's so much fun to me making this community, getting to speak. Sorry this wasn't about books. I just felt very inspired to talk about this with you guys. I felt like I feel very passionate about it, so I'm going to speak on it. So I hope that you were able to sit back and relax for this maybe 10-minute video. I hope that you gained some insight. If you didn't, I hope you just relaxed. I hope it was a nice, calm video for you to sit back and enjoy without the pressures of life. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Thanks for chatting with me, and I will see you guys next time. Have a fantastic rest of your day.